Hello, and welcome back to the Right Foot Down Motorsports YouTube page. For you guys that just watched the last video, this one starts right now. If you guys new to the channel, I'm Daniel Webster, super late model racer, sportsman truck, whatever else, and also I work on race cars for a living. So it's my shop, a couple of our cars, a couple of customer cars, and I just kind of just bring you guys through the daily grind of working on race cars every day, the ups and downs of it. Sometimes it's really fun. Sometimes it's a lot of work. It's always a lot of work. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. It's disappointing. I feel like we kind of hit on a little bit of all that. So for this video, I'm getting ready to unload a pro truck that got crashed at New Smyrna Speedway a week and a half ago. It's supposed to be racing this weekend, so I'm going to get it in, get the wreck damage out of the way, start building the new body. We're switching it from black to white, from the AR body to 5-star. We're keeping the same greenhouse on it, so I got to do some work to make that work with the new style body. It's not a direct crossover, but the I know the shop videos do well, so I'm going to bring you guys through a little bit of process of that, and then getting our Sportsman cars ready to go for Citrus this weekend. So let's get to it. Oh, if only they went together as fast as they came apart. But got the scrap pile built up already. Roof and windows are okay. We're gonna salvage those. I do need to order some white vinyl since he decided we're switching the truck to white. I'm gonna wrap the top of it white, but everything else is pretty well torn off. I'm probably gonna have to go ahead and get the airbox out of here too. I don't think it's gonna fit. We're switching from the older AR style nose to the new 5-star like I have on my truck. A little bit more modernized looking, a little sportier. I feel like so. Well, lots of braces to straighten. The bumper survived. Very light duty bumper, but yeah, the top piece was all jammed forward. I think the guy went over the bumper whenever he hit. But anyway, yep, time to just fabricate the top piece back here that holds the top of the tail, that kind of locates the body, left, right, front to back, and then start getting the decking pieces made, and then kind of work my way back forward from there. So let's get to it. Now, the customer originally asked if I could add more overall rake to the body, but unfortunately, without having to replace windshield and everything, if I lowered the dash any, the roof's already kind of raking forward a little bit, so I would have to get a longer windshield to build down there, and then have to redo the dash and the side pieces and everything, which that part's no big deal, but as you get into replacing windows and everything, the price starts going up a lot more. So it's actually still going to have the same amount of rake as my truck. My truck's like 36 and a half, I think, dash height when I measured it last night. This one's like 3/4. So I think that'll be close enough and still look good. But yeah, just part of dealing with, if I was doing it from absolutely scratch, I could do a little bit differently. But trying to save some of the parts to save some money, you kind of get stuck in a box sometimes. And just have to make do with what you can. All right, step 2, start adjoining the plastic pieces. I need to get the tail going so I can get the height and depth set of the back of the truck. So we'll get this riveted together and start getting some actual work. Tail's ready, rear bar's ready. Time to start building some of the interior or the deck panels working our way back. So this one, the front piece here, the main piece across the right behind the back window, is in good shape, so I can use it as a pattern. I'm going to change it a little bit. This is the underside, obviously, but they had it stepped down to where the next piece laid on top. I'm going to flange it so you don't see the rivets. Try to make it a little bit cleaner. And there was no brakes on the side. I'm going to add an inch on each side to brake to get a little bit more strength. A little bit less flop back there, less need for so many braces. And yeah, so we'll get this traced out. Always save your templates whenever they can be used. It saves a lot of time. And that's one panel made, only all those to go. That's 2. That's 3. And 4. Pattern. All right, Wednesday morning update. Got pretty well the back half done. Quarters, tails on. Gotta do the bracing and stuff like that, but most of the inner bracing, at least the right side, survived. It just needs to be attached. So yeah, looking good. Now time to get the nose halves mated together, and then I'm gonna start building doors. I'll start getting the front half on. It's so random, the things that can pop up that take a job that should have been 30 seconds of this process that ends up taking me 15 or 20 minutes. Fury spoiler braces on it. That's cool. Plenty of Fury cars here. Couldn't find a single spare anywhere in the shop. I looked through my spare fender braces. I looked through, I have a shipping container with like used body parts and stuff like that and spare parts. I didn't have any spare tails. I thought I had a tail with a spoiler on it still. I just threw the tail away off the Rowdy car. I guess I didn't take the spoiler braces off to save his spares before I did throw it away. So I wasted like 15 or 20 minutes just looking for a little piece of aluminum. And then now I have plenty of spare fender braces to make them out of, but the aluminum, it's really difficult to crush to flatten the ends out to make it the proper length without it breaking. So I had to sit there and work it down, crush it, and then get the bend in it, everything. So I'm like 30 to 40 minutes in to a used spoiler brace by the time I gave up looking for one and had to make one. Womp womp. Yay. All right, back to hopefully actually progressing. All right, still making some progress here, but now we get to the pain in the ass part. the door support, like the door is tucked really far in, and the left rear tire hung out quite a bit. So I got the body moved out to cover the tire better, but now I gotta redo all that. And then of course, none of the nose bumper supports, airbox or anything lined up from the old nose. So Sean's cutting all that off and starting over while I'm trying to work my way forward with all the side bracing and everything. Yay. All right, sorry if this video is kind of a little jumpy here and there. It doesn't have this flow, but getting ready to take a lunch break. Just showing you guys real quick where we're at. Got the door support welded on and adjustable underneath there. Get the left door mocked up. I haven't mounted it yet. I had to do some, you get floor jack out and a piece of pipe to bend the right front corner of the dash up to get it back level. It was pinned down over here. I don't know if that was from the crash or what. Yeah, probably from the wreck because there's braces broken off still. But getting the right side door, kind of made it up where it's going to go. Trying to keep my body lines nice and true. Yeah, so got it hooked to the door bar, blah, 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 blah. Front bumpers are installed. Sean's been working away on the front of the truck up here while I'm kind of working my way towards them. So getting ready to go heat up some leftovers and then come back and get doors finalized and then attach the fender back to the door. And then I'm going to have to build a big cowl. So the 5-star body has a pretty short hood. Like, it was actually designed for a 105-inch wheelbase truck. The Midwestern truck series is more like based on a late model, and the Southern Pro trucks are stock GM frame, so they're full 108. So even with the full 5-star kit, it comes with a cowl built in. I still had to extend mine a couple inches to get the hood to fit, so I'm gonna have to build something out to about there and then blend it in with the airbox, stuff like that, and remount the front of the window too, because they had this piece riveted in that went up that mounted the window. That's going to be in the way of where my cowl's going to sit, so I'm going to figure all that out. But yep, that's coming after food. Next. All right, building custom cowl to fill in that gap. My plan is made it oversized, shoved it underneath the window. I'm going to trace along where the windshield's at and then cut like an inch past that and then roll that lip up to make a flange for the windshield to attach to. And then we just gotta build some sort of bracing up here, support that, mount some hood pin tabs to it, and then should be ready to, oh, then I gotta cut a hole. That's the airbox lands somewhere back in there, so I'm gonna probably take 2 hole saws, connect them with 10 snips, and then the airbox will just wrap up to it from underneath is my plan. And cowl is done. Cowl / windshield bracketry, whatever the heck. Got that in. I do need to do a little bit of filing on it. I think it's about time for some new 10 snips. Not my best cut job, but anyway. So yeah, cold airbox hooks under there, funnels it in, blah, 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 blah. Windshield's attached, all that good stuff. So on to the next project before dinner gets here. All right, happy Thursday, guys. Pretty decent progress, though. One of the random projects, the jacking post was starting to crack, so we welded it up, and then it broke off on a different spot past the weld. So that's, thankfully, it only wrinkled that part of the door that hadn't even been trimmed out yet. Got lucky there, but it's one of those little extra projects that you have to do. Sean's getting ready to work on airbox. I'm getting ready to cut side skirts, start getting all the bracing done, and I still got to fit the hood. Probably do that last after the airbox is done. And then, yeah, then we'll be just about done with this thing and on to the next project that's got to be done for this weekend. All right, getting closer. Airbox is in. Front bracing's done. Right skirt's on. Sean got the jack post welded back up. You can see some rust on the ground there where it was falling apart down there. So yeah, I'm gonna get him to do the left skirt. I already got it made. You just got to fit it, and I'll get the hood fit. So hood fitting's always interesting. I'll bring you guys along for that. Yay, fiberglass. There's fiberglass in my eyelashes. Whew. You're not a real racer until you've had multiple air blower baths. But hey, it's the right color again. All right, just about done. Got her on the ground. I actually think it looks good with the black top on there, but he wants it fully white. And since he's color changing it to make it cooler, I guess leaving the part over top of your head black would not make sense. So I'm getting ready to wrap the roof. Other than that, I'm pretty well done with the body, which turned out pretty cool. Good looking little truck. I used their existing braces. Like they had shrunk to build a little bit more character into the side. I don't know if I like that or not, but I think overall, I think it turned out pretty good. So, what do you guys think? Left plenty of mess, but anyway, I'm gonna get the white on here and then we can get this video finished up. Okay. I think mine's done. Anyway, if I could put fresh valve springs on it while it's here. The 602 crate, we used to have to run the GM factory valve springs that wear out pretty fast. We're allowed now to run a pack spring, which we got the packs here. So I don't enjoy motor work. I find it tedious. It's not really my favorite thing to do, but something I had to learn to do with, especially since so much of my business runs through the 602 crate world of trucks and Sportsmans. You know, before they had this pack spring, we had to do them all the time. So I had to learn how to do it. It's just not that, it's just tedious work to me, but whatever. So definitely going to speed this part up for you guys because it's just very repetitious, but we knock this out and then it'll be time to load this one up, get the 16 out, see exactly what it needs to get knocked up for tomorrow because it's got to be a practice tomorrow. So let's get to it. Alright, this one's ready for the trailer. Just fired it up, made sure it ran, no leaks. Everything was good. So, I'm getting ready to get this thing pushed in. It's 8:30 Thursday night. Get her loaded up and then get 16 in here, make a list of what it needs tomorrow. See if we can get it slammed out. But yeah, I think she looks good. Alright, it's 9 o'clock. Got some work to do tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday and it's practice for the UARE series. Thankfully, we're racing at Citrus, which is, like 35 minutes up the road. Mine's ready. Just got to get a power steering pump changed in the morning, build a few body panels, get some vinyl stuck on it, gear change, run through setup real quick, and get back on the road. So, yep, I'm gonna go shower and get some rest and see you guys in a few hours. And it's Friday.
been a fairly long week. I mean, I've had worse, but still. Yeah, I guess not a lot of time to talk to you guys. I need to get to getting doors and fenders made, power steering pump changed, coffee drank, trailers loaded. Yeah, I'm a little sleepy still. All these years I've been working on race cars, that was the first time I've had a Cleco literally hit me in the eye. Okay, so finished the 16, loaded the 16. Customer with the white truck, Richard Shank, came to pick it up, got him out of there, drove 2 Citrus, dropped off 16 trailer, drove back, finished my Sportsman, hooked up to trailer, unloaded Super, clean trailer, loaded Sportsman, driving back to track now in just what appears to be a theme of the page here lately, or all racing in Florida. It looks freaking terrible. Oh my god. So much work to, I don't know, maybe practice tonight a little bit. I mean, I don't think we finished first, second, and fourth the last time here, so we don't need like a ton of practice, but I still want to get, you know, tires picked out. I had a couple little things to try on my car. But yeah, that is it's right there. So I'm gonna stop and get some ice, some bottled water, and then see what the weather looks like when I get there. It's about a 30-35 minute drive, again, for the second time already this afternoon. See how it goes. Well, I got lucky. It's nice here so far. Ready to get unloaded. The generator fired up, AC running. A little bit of cloud right there, but not bad. Alright guys, so Saturday morning, heading to the track, race day. I went out once in my car last night. We got tires picked out. I got Tim's mounted. I never got a chance to get mine mounted. We got Cody's picked. He got his mounted. Yeah, went out once. The first, I think we waited till like the third round because it was really hot out. And me and Tim went 1-2. I went a 47. He went a 49. The next closest car was like, there are a couple cars with 52s. But I went like 5 or 6 5-1, 5-2, 5-3 ranges in a row. Like, car was really solid. A lot of drive off. A lot better than last time here. So Heading back to the track now. I had a little bit of a brake pedal shake I could feel in it, so I'm gonna pull the front hubs off, go over, make sure on these cars that run like stock spindles, like it's not a great front hub, and there's like a rotor plate that bolts to the hub that the rotor bolts to, but it bolts in with countersink bolts, and there's no way to safety wire them or anything because they're countersunk flush. So yeah, I'm gonna get there, pull the front hubs off, make sure there's nothing. I've had them come loose before. So anyways, it's 93 degrees out in the morning. It's the lovely coffee weather to start off the day. Florida, So I'm gonna get there and see if we can get ready for the day. I think there was over 25 cars last night. I didn't really get a chance to count, but solid turnout. So see what we got for them today.
All right, guys, our Keys bus is here. My ride's here. We're planning on going to the Keys in a few days. I'm gonna need this to come back and get us. Man, that seems out of place in Inverness. All right, race fans, it is time for the most famous words in motorsports. Let's get tonight's UARA Sportsman 75 underway. I'm going to need each and every one of you out here in the crowd here tonight at Citrus County Speedway to help me say those words. Drivers!
The calm before the storm. 75 laps, quite a long distance here for the Sportsman class. One of the longer races of the year, and we're 2 laps away from the green flag.
I'm going to keep my eye on row number 2. Daniel Webster, while he's not a regular in the UARA Sportsman Series, he has been to victory lane 3 times, and he got the win here at Citrus in the super late model earlier this year. And Brandon Morris to his outside. He needs a big night. 2 straight finishes of 10th or worse. Can he get that corrected here tonight? And right behind them, the number 16 of Tim Sozio, your current points leader, yet to go to victory lane here in 2026. Rice Robinson and Kyle Case bring the field down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. The UARA Sportsman Series, powered by Vaden Chevrolet Performance, is green from Citrus County Speedway, presented by Salted Metals.
75 laps now underway. First lap, there's still 2 by 2 across the racetrack. Those 2 drivers that started up in the front, that being Rice Robinson and Kyle Case, maintain side-by-side action. Who wants it more? As it stands, we are 2 by 2 all the way down to the top 20.
Yeah, it is a high-speed pace lap all the way back about 10 rows before you finally find a car that's single file. But up front, Rice Robinson, leading his first laps in UARA Sportsman competition, gets the race lead, and here comes Daniel Webster. Webster to the inside of Kyle Case. He'll move up into second. Here comes Adam Briggs for third, and the battle is on for fourth. Matthew Green looks to get clear of the 61. A couple of cars on the outside. Brandon Morris and Tim Sozio headed backwards because they can't get to the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, and that's the key here at Citrus County. The inside is where you want to be, and if you are on the inside, you got to try to defend it with your life. 87 off the pace. That is Robbie Bunden. Night ender for that machine. Top 5 single file make that top 6 now all underway, trying to pull away from each other. That 50 machine of Rice Robinson maintains a track position up in the front, but he's got a mirror full of Daniel Webster off of turn 2.
Close in on a little bit of lap traffic as well. You know, for the driver on the outside, you can usually hold and maintain it for maybe 4 to 5 laps, but eventually that inside car is going to prevail, and that's exactly what has happened with Dylan Bigley as Bigley makes the move, getting a little squirrely there out of turn number 4. But up front, the battle is on for the race lead. The one of Daniel Webster dives to the inside. He goes to make the move on Rice Robinson, new race leader here at Citrus with less than 60 to go.
Yeah, and tell you what, Jake, you made a perfect prediction with that one machine. He pulls away. 50 machine of Robinson almost got spun with the 44 of Matthew Green. They held on to it off of turn 2, but that was amazing news for the one of Daniel Webster. He's now trying to pull away. A lap machine separates the leaders between him and the 44, and Webster continues to lead on the back straightaway. 4 straight, well, other than 1 week, but still, that is just an insane stat. He's looking to prove that again. But other guys in the top 10 who we also haven't really talked about that's been maintaining those track positions. Cody Struble been around 7th to 10th all night long. Same goes for the guy behind him. That's Lucas Hinton. And Rice Robinson, who started on the pole, he's had multiple restarts where he's been stuck on the outside lane. I do have bad news. He's in 10th, so that would be 5th on the outside. Still struggling to find pace, but he is still in the top 10.
But the story remains the same up front. The one of Daniel Webster showing the way. When he was back here in April for the Full Throttle 125, he won arguably the biggest race of his career, going door to door, wheel to wheel, and outdueling one of the best super late model drivers in the country in Stephen Nasse to get the win there. He's got 3 career UARA Sportsman Series victories, but none of them have come here at his home track of Citrus County Speedway, as he looks to try to change that here tonight. But the driver to his outside, Tim Sozio, believes he should have been to victory lane at least 2, maybe even 3 times this year as he looks to try to increase that points lead. Sozio, extra motivated to try to get the win here tonight as we get ready to restart with 31 laps to go in this one. Still a long way to go as Webster leads Sozio into the Sunbelt Rentals restart zone. We're back underway here at Citrus County Speedway. The green is back out.
And what a great launch from the 16 of Tim Sozio. Unfortunately, the outside lane may be a challenge. The one machine of Webster slid up a little bit. Contact, and there's more contact in the back. What a save from the 56 of Brandon Morris. I have no idea how he held on to that race car. He'll slot back into 7th. Off of turn 2, Webster, Sozio, and Briggs are your top 3.
I'm going to want to keep an eye on the 99 of Lucas Hinton. He got into the back of the 56 of Morris very hard. Could that have damaged the radiator and the air box up on that 99 car? We're going to keep an eye on that as the races go on. Everybody else starting to try to jockey for position and get to the inside. Car going around. It's the 27G of Fallon Goolsby. Looks like the 29 of Bobby Mobley has gone around, and the 27M of Kip McVeigh is slow up on the top of the racetrack as well as the SRQ Taxes caution waves once again here at Citrus. And with 24 laps to go, Daniel Webster and Tim Sozio looking to try to drive away from the rest of the field. Good start there by Sozio again on the outside. But will he be able to make it work? He and Webster have been dueling all race long for the race lead. And it looks like the one of Webster going to try to get a good launch off of turn number 4. He'll try to clear the 16 of Sozio. Can Sozio get to the bottom before the hole fills? Here comes the 14 of Briggs and the 6 of Frazier. Another driver that unfortunately not having a bit of a difficult night tonight is James Seawright, who entered tonight second in the point standings, just 10 points behind Tim Sozio. And with Sozio currently running second and Seawright having a night where he's currently running in the 11th position, you're going to see that points lead expand for Sozio if he's able to maintain where he's at. And for Seawright, it's just been a bit of a struggle today. Just didn't quite have it in qualifying, and unfortunately haven't been able to capitalize here in the race. But with 21 laps to go, we'll see if Seawright can surge late in the race here, try to make up a little bit of ground here. But there's a lot of really good race cars in front of him that it's going to be very difficult for him to pass here over these final 21 laps.
And 6 in the air, 1 to green signal this time by. Like a broken record at this point, Sozio again on the outside, Webster again on the inside. Every single restart, either on purpose or not on purpose, Sozio has not been able to make that pass on his teammate. He'll have another shot here off of turn 4. 21 laps remain. Off of turn 4, restart box. Webster takes the green flag. And Sozio once again going to drop back. A great exit off of turn 2, but Webster going to block him. And another caution is now out. Looking for where those machines may have wrecked at. We may have had not
Not a good start here, and oh my goodness, hearing over the race officials here, we've got a car up front there that jumped the start. And this is going to change everything up front. The one of Daniel Webster jumped the start and fired early in the Sunbelt Reynolds restart zone, and the driver that has dominated this race is going to the rear of the field.
No way! Come up here, Daniel. Come up here and protest. Protest it.
That is going to give the race lead to Tim Sozio. And now this is going to change the complexion of the front of this field tremendously with 21 laps to go.
Tell you what, we're all shocked up here. I was not expecting the one move that would end, well, not end, but falter Webster's tonight would be a restart. But tell you what, you get yourself locked in autopilot. You've done this about 8 times. You try to go a little bit earlier. A little bit earlier was a little bit too much for the one machine. He's not going to be all the way back outside the top 15. Sozio now in control, but watch out for Briggs on the outside.
And what's that go to say about the pressure that Sozio has been applying to maybe get the one of Webster to have to be that aggressive and to jump that start? I've been covering Daniel Webster's races for a long time. He's usually pretty cool, calm, and collected under the helmet. But I think when he just drove by, I could have swear I saw steam coming out of the side of the car, and it has to be from the driver of that one car. He has got to be not happy with that call, but he takes the penalty. He goes to the rear of the field, and now it's Sozio, Briggs, Frazier, Morris, and Anderson, your new top 5.
And tell you what, good news and bad news for Sozio. Good news is he's now leading. The bad news is he has no teammates around him like he had before. So he has to work with people that he has not had to work with all night long, and he chooses the outside lane. That puts Adam Briggs on the inside, up a row from Daniel Webster. And the one green signal at the line. So Sozio once again having to control from the outside lane. That's going to be hard to do. Briggs now, this is a golden opportunity for Adam Briggs to take this race lead.
So I just heard from race officials, because the one jumped, they're going to move the inside line up. That's why Briggs is going to get to restart on the inside. This is a huge advantage here for Briggs. Green flag is back out, and we are underway again here with 21 to go at Citrus County Speedway. The UARA Sportsman Series. Tim Sozio out in front by a half a car length, and we've got problems. Caution coming out. And now we're hearing word, once again, race officials, they are watching this closely. You have to maintain pace car speed as you're working your way and easing towards the restart zone, and the call has been issued to the 14 of Adam Briggs. We'll see if Briggs is going to adhere to the penalty.
Now look who's behind Morris. Bigley and Carlbert in the 02 and 25. Those two are fast competitors, and Sozio's wishing that he was on the inside because he would have been leading this entire time. Here we go, though. Drivers coming onto the front stretch. 1 to green signal, sticks in the air, and now a golden opportunity for Brandon Morris. But third time may not be the charm for him. He cannot jump the restart. Seems like it's been his charge up in the front. Sozio is right behind. This is a golden opportunity for the 16 to finally make that pass and never look back. All over the rear, they are glued together. It is 2 laps remaining as they continue in turn 1.
2 laps to go. Couple of cars making a little bit of contact here in the front straightaway, but we stay green. Morris looking to get to the inside of the 56. White flag is in the air for Brandon Morris. Morris trying to make his way out of turn number 2. One final time for Tim Sozio. And out of turn number 4, Brandon Morris is going to pick up his 10th career UARA Sportsman Series victory, holding off Tim Sozio, Jimmy Frazier, and the battle for fourth between Struble and Bigley.
Well, back at the shop. It's Monday morning. Fast forward a little bit, obviously. I didn't do anything yesterday. That's a tough one. Wins are hard to come by in this sport. So we had, I think there was 26 sportsmen's. Tim qualified fourth. I was seventh, but really, really tight field. I was only 600 or 700 off the pole. Like, it was just good quality, tight field. Invert was a 9. That's put me third. I got to second pretty well right away. I had to work over the leader for a little bit, and then once I got to the lead, I could pretty well just put a half a straightaway on the field at will and just start lifting at the flag stand, really babying the car. The car was really good. And then Tim was able to, work his way. He got drugged back to 11th or 12th on the start. Was able to work his way up into second. And then the race kind of, unfortunately, divulged into a crash fest. And lots and lots of cautions. Not a lot of torn up race cars. I feel like it was mostly just stupid spins from what I could tell. I haven't watched the race back yet. But yeah, just we had restart after restart after restart after restart with Tim and I on the front row together, and I could get clear after a lap or so. I could put 4 or 5 car lengths on Tim, and then sounds like he could put up to a straightaway on third. Like, the two of us could just, we're dominant fast, could drive away at will. Unfortunately, with that many restarts in a row, it's hard to be perfect every time because there's not a restart box, there's just a restart line, and you have to fire at the line. And Tim was hard to fend off. We're both in fast cars, and the last restart with 20 to go or 21 to go, I kind of rolling to the line. I felt like he was a foot ahead of me, just kind of watching out of my peripheral. And in those cars, I kind of power brake coming to the restart zone. And then as I get to the line, I, roll off the brake and finish getting the gas to the floor. So you have it loaded up. And I kind of crept off the brake pedal from 50% brake down to 20% brake. And I rolled ahead of him about a foot. And this all happened, I don't know, I was told 6 foot before the line. And we fired, took off. I had my nose is a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet out in front of his. And they waved it off and put me to the rear for jumping the start. So that hurt. Kind of had that $2,500 wrapped up and counted in my pocket already, as good as the car was. It was really, really, really fast car. And I said, wins are hard to come by, no matter how good the car is. Hurts to lose one on kind of a technicality. And so then the way the rules are written, that moves the third place car. They don't crisscross. They just move the row forward. The ensuing restart, Adam Briggs got to move from third up to first, and he was deemed to come into the restart zone or line or area or whatever too fast, so they put him to the rear. So again, it's the way the rules written. The race director is directing as the rules written. The 5th place car now got to restart as the leader, and Brandon ended up getting clear of Tim and held him off and won. So we went from having a 1-2 to neither of us winning because of the way the rules written. Even though Tim was second, he got beat by the 5th place car on the restart. And it's hard to swallow. It's been so we put a lot into this. I know we didn't put a lot of physical time into this particular race because of how busy I was with the 5 truck and everything this week, but it's the weeks, months, years of building notes and building a package to be able to bring a car that fast to the track in a 26 car field or whatever, to have even with the minimal amount of time we physically put in this week, our baseline has been built up that well that we could be dominantly fast right off the trailer. Like I said, I went out once. Friday was P1, Tim was P2. Saturday, we were like 4th and 6th or something like that because we didn't put practice tires on. And then to be able to drive away from the field while side by side battling, and then like I said, I could put 3 or 4 cars on him and just kind of cruise right there. Come away with nothing sucks. I didn't feel like from in the car that I jumped. Like I said, I felt like I just kind of. But the rule is you cannot increase your speed until the line. So by the rule, I sped up 3 or 4 miles per hour probably. That was enough to lose a win after dominating. So part of it. Hard to be excited, but we'll get back to it this week. Today I'm just cleaning the shop. It was a mess from how much work we did last week, and need to run some errands and then get Chad's car in here, get the nose fixed because we're going to be back at New Smyrna on the 11th for the next pro race, and I think Matt's running with the GMS car again. I need to double check with him. He's going to be in town. So start planning to move ahead. I don't think we're doing anything this weekend. I'm going to find something maybe not racing related at all to go do. Yeah, this weekend's the 4th. So on a happier note, hope you guys, this should be out by then. Better be. And hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I'm sorry I just monologued a really long time there. I just, I try to be real at all times, and I don't want to hold back. So, like I said, on a super different note, remember this is our country's 250th anniversary. It's a really, really big birthday for the absolute best social experiment that our planet's ever seen. I said I'm as patriotic as it comes. I actually have the American flag tattooed on me. Really proud to be an American, and I'm sure. Yeah, actually, I got an SVG hat and a Hughes hockey shirt from Team USA that I ordered the other day. It just came in, so I'll be celebrating. Make sure I grab some sort of red, white, and blue drink on the 4th, and maybe we'll go take the boat out and have some fun. So, anyway, that's enough for this video. We get back to work. Again, as always, appreciate the crap out of you guys coming along for this ride. Every week's a little different of something else to work on or different track to go to, or whether I'm driving or crew chiefing or trying to do both. It's a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it with me. So we'll get it re-racked and go do it again. So in the meantime, you guys keep the right foot down, and then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.